Welcome back to the Borgata Hotel, Casino and Spa as we take a look at Tesfaldet making his walk into the cage. Fight fans, thanks for joining us. It's Cage Fury Fighting Championship 69. Jackson Galka here with Brian Calico. The fights just get better and better. A lot of outstanding finishes, and the best is yet to come.
We have 3 title fights on the line tonight, but before we get to all of that main event action, we have 2 of the hottest up-and-coming prospects in the 125-pound division. This is Robiel Tesfaldet coming from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They had to search far and wide to find a guy who would fight Santo Curatolo.
Yeah, and I think they found the right guy for this fight tonight because, getting to know him a little bit and seeing this has actually become one of my more favorite weight classes as I grow into my analyst time. And, these guys move so well. And if you talk to the coaching staff and you get to know what he's about, you see he really is a young man that enjoys the challenge of stepping up at such a big venue like the Borgata. And this man believes in himself. As far as the local favorite in Curatolo, not phased is Robiel.
Robiel coming into this fight with 1 win under his belt, same as his opponent, Santo Curatolo. 2 very young fighters making the main card here at CFFC69. Very impressive for both of these guys.
And now we'll take a look, making his way into the cage, the very dangerous, the very talented, and the highly touted Santo Curatolo. You see the place kind of erupts, all his fans going nuts, coming out of the red corner. We've seen Curatolo before. Really, both these guys are going to be strong, but, if you remember the last time we saw Curatolo, I mean, it was like lights out like that. He had him finished and was so excited. You could see he almost wanted to keep working, and I think that happens sometimes. These guys put so much prep and so much thought into these fights, they want an opportunity to display a little bit of their talents.
He's going to have his hands full with Robiel Tesfaldet. Both these guys, 125 pounds of pure fury, little spark plugs, tons of power in both hands. Although Tesfaldet comes in with a little bit less of a pedigree behind him, he sports a very high fight IQ. He's a very smart fighter, math major in college. Some of that plays into the way he strategizes, and he believes he has the tools to dismantle the hot prospect in Santo Curatolo.
Yeah, both these guys measure up really nicely. Jackson, anything that sticks out in the numbers here?
I mean, these guys are mirror images of each other. Look at it, it's exactly the same. The question here is, can Santo Curatolo live up to his own hype?
And we're going to find out the answer to that question in just a moment as Dr. David Sarnoff will get this fight started.
Tonight, the next bout of the evening is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the CFFC flyweight division. This bout has been brought to us by Cage Fury Fighting Championships and is sponsored by Barry the Hatchet. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 124.8 pounds, fighting for Next Edge Academy out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Robiel Tesfaldet. Standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 125.6 pounds, fighting for Tiger Showman MMA out of Staten Island, New York, Santo Curatolo. The referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Gasper Oliver.
Gasper Oliver gets the nod. Folks, get ready for some flyweight action. Really enjoyed the last time we had Curatolo in the cage. Tiger Shulman's product, teammate of Hurricane Shane Burgos, who's in the UFC right now. Also Lyman Good, who, a lot of great fighters coming up that way. And this is one of their next big names, Jackson.
Tesfaldet's coach explained to me they've really been working on a lot of transitions from grappling to striking on the feet. So watch for the level change, setting up the takedowns and the strikes from the Sioux Falls prospect, Tesfaldet. Santo Curatolo with a nice short uppercut on one foot. That is some high-level stuff.
Yeah, really did a nice job of using that whiz and then punching. As you can see, I believe that he's got Tesfaldet kind of aware of that punch. As both guys kind of collide there in the middle. Good outside leg kick there. Tesfaldet. Curatolo then back and forth, center of the cage. Curatolo coming out of the red corner in the white depression shorts. Blue corner is Tesfaldet. Nice inside leg kick there.
Curatolo is just unfazed by these strikes, cutting off the ring, taking center stage. and it's just cocked and ready to throw some heavy shots from either hand.
He's checking those leg kicks, or he missed that one, but he was checking the other ones. Jackson, the difference in checking and not checking the leg kicks.
Well, you know, it all really depends on whose shins are harder, but if you don't check it, you get hurt. If you do check it, they get hurt. It's a huge swing in terms of results.
Nice lateral drop throw there. The wrestling pedigree comes out from Curatolo.
Just a knee-jerk reaction there from Curatolo to launch him. That's a 5-point move there in freestyle wrestling.
But back up on his feet is the South Dakota fighter.
The strength-to-weight ratio here in the flyweight division is just so high. It's extremely difficult to really control your opponent when you're dealing with a high-level athlete like Tesfaldet or Curatolo. So you're going to see a lot of back-and-forth action here in the flyweight division.
Tesfaldet throws another leg kick. They're adding up, and we want to see another leg kick. How is Curatolo going to react to that? Curatolo throws his own leg kick, and a misdirection kick there, if you will. Very nice exchange by both fighters, and the action is really heating up here at the Borgata.
I'm extremely impressed with Curatolo's balance and stability while on one foot. I mean, he's generating a ton of power in his punches on one foot. That is extremely difficult to do.
Like what I see there, great ground and pound. Great posture. This is really one of his strong points. I think he kind of hinted around earlier. He takes a lot of inertia and a lot of torque and power in a smaller frame. So if he can maintain this top position.
He generates that power in a short distance too. Like typically, you know, like a bullet or an arrow, you need some space to accelerate to get the power. But Curatolo is like a piston. He's just like hammering those punches like a piston. You can just see the discomfort on Tesfaldet's face when he gets landed with those.
But I want to point out Tesfaldet's leg kicks. He's landed again. I've counted about 10 of those, and you can see the discoloration on the thigh. He's continuing to work that lead leg, and you know that could change things up. It could take that oomph out of his punch, and maybe even take the takedown away. So if I'm in the corner of Tesfaldet, I'm going to say keep going with that, but not like that. That was not done very well. And I do not like what I see. He just turned away, Jackson, and that is not what we are trained to do.
He's tasted some of that power, and he doesn't want any part of it. You know, he knows that if he whiffs on one of those kicks or if his kicks get compromised, Curatolo's going to be following up with a big counter. Head kick by Curatolo right off the break.
And a stoppage right there. Good stoppage there. You know, the referee jumped in there. Tesfaldet did not want any more. By covering up and turtling up like that, you're not intelligently defending yourself, and that's a stoppage.
There's a beautiful transition there from Curatolo, reminiscent of Ronda Rousey and Holly Holm, breaking off the clinch, throwing the head kick. It's in those transitions between positions where you are most vulnerable, and Curatolo showing some very high-level veteran fight IQ here and throwing the head kick right off that break.
Yeah, really, really, really sweet finish there. And right before that, we kind of saw Tesfaldet giving in, if you will. Bam! There you go. Well called. That is very similar to the Holly Holm Ronda fight. Misdirection. But Jackson, if I may, and we'll give the fans another chance to look. Boom! Right there. If I may, Tesfaldet was making a fundamental mistake, and he made it more than once. He turned his back on his opponent, and that's really, you know, fighting 101. We saw a lot of great attributes, leg kicks, good overall takedown defense, but you can't be turning your back on your opponent.
I mean, fighting's all about creating angles and capitalizing them, and there's no greater angle than having somebody 6. When you have somebody 6, you have the ultimate angle. It's called the lion killer, the mata leon. That's a rear naked choke for a reason. If you're going to kill a lion, you're going to jump on its back.
Absolutely agree with you. Very impressive performance by the favorite Santo Curatolo. Moves to 2-0, and we'll be back with the official decision, the official call on the win right after these messages. And we'll be back with the official time of the stoppage right after this. Well, welcome back to the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Impressive work there by Santo Curatolo. We'll go up for the official announcement from Dr. David Sarno.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was stopped at 3 minutes and 48 seconds in the first round. Winner by referee stoppage, TKO due to kick. Out of the red corner, Santo Curatolo!
Santo, it looks like you brought a huge crowd here to the Borgata for your main card event. Do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Yeah, I appreciate the support. It's unreal. I do it for them. Without them, the motivation wouldn't be there.
Congratulations on a huge win. Now, we talked yesterday. You said 18 months ago you were working as a plumber, no fight experience. Now, 18 months after that, today, with 3 fights under your belt, 2 as an amateur, 1 as a professional, you landed on the main card of Cage Fury Fighting Championship 69. What do you attribute that to? I mean, that's an impressive feat. I've never seen that before.
I think it's my athleticism. I always had the right people behind me that got me in my life. I also deal with an incredible amount of adversity, but I always adapt, overcome, and succeed. So I think that makes me stronger, helps me stay motivated.
Now here, right off the break here, take a look up at the screen. Right off the break, you threw a beautifully timed head kick. Did you know that was going to land? Talk us through the end of this fight.
I did. I seen him, typical wrestling, you grab the hand, you turn and cut. I knew he was a wrestler. I knew that's what he was going to do, so I was just waiting for it. I set it up. I knew he was going to turn right into it.
That is a highlight reel knockout under your belt. Beautiful work. Your winner, improving to 2-0, Santo Curatolo.
Santo Curatolo. Really nice to hear that young man talk. Great story there as you learn. Now take a look at some of the work that he got done. That's the knockout right there. That kick is unbelievable. Great angle, as Jackson pointed out. Jumps in there for the finish. But take a look one more time. He really actually almost timed that perfectly where the guard of his opponent, Tesfaldet, was down. Makes quick work of it, and that's a KO finish for your victor, Santo Curatolo. Expect big things for this young man. He gets it done tonight at the Borgata.